All right, what's going on, guys? So one of the biggest mysteries in the NBA in the last couple years is the timeline of LeBron. When is he going to retire? Originally, we all thought he was going to play 1 year with Bronny and then probably be out. But it looks like he's kind of staying longer. Whether that's due to kind of how disappointing his last couple of years have been, I think he expected to win maybe a couple more championships by now with his stint with the Lakers or whatever it may be. Nobody really knew, how long he could go for. The LeBron Glazers think he could probably play till he's 60. But I think more realistically for me, I was thinking probably a couple more years. But lately, we've been kind of getting a couple more answers up until today, where there's a lot of speculation about what's about to happen in the NBA because it could get turned upside down. So a couple weeks ago, I was doom scrolling on the cesspool that is NBA Twitter and saw this photo where it was a quote from LeBron where he was talking about he's not going to wait for Bryce to get to the NBA because he's not sure if Bryce is even going to get to the NBA. And so that kind of cleared up a couple things on LeBron's timeline. But about an hour ago, LeBron posted on his Instagram story that he is doing another decision. Kind of funny in the fact that there's quotes from him that says the first decision, the decision 1.0, was one of the biggest mistakes he's made in his career, and he would never do it again. So it's kind of funny that he's doubling back now and saying, no, there needs to be a decision 2.0. I mean, the NBA Twitter and NBA fan base is going absolutely crazy right now, wondering what this decision could be about. I mean, I don't think it takes Sherlock Holmes to kind of get the vibe of what's probably about to happen, because he's not up for free agency or anything. And I think everybody kind of realizes that the decision tomorrow is probably going to be his announcement to retire from the NBA after this season. Watch this video come out before the decision, and then it turns out LeBron is just releasing a clothing line or some BS like that. It's gonna be, I think there's gonna be a lot of shakeup, not only in the NBA but in the Lakers organization if LeBron leaves after this season. So then the next question is, where do the Lakers go from here, and what is gonna kind of be their next step post LeBron? And ultimately, whether you're a fan of LeBron or whether you don't really care much for him, I think the Lakers organization are wanting LeBron to retire sooner rather than later, because from my outside perspective looking in, just kind of what I've gathered and being a fan of the NBA and being tapped into what's kind of been going on with the Lakers organization, it's pretty obvious LeBron's kind of gutted the Lakers into this position that they're in now, where they really have no positive assets that they can rely on, whether it be assets to trade or assets to develop. Le GM has kind of pushed them into a situation where they're in a constant stage of perpetual win now without the winning. You saw it with the Anthony Davis trade. They gave up a ton of assets for Anthony Davis, and while they did win a championship, I think the broad majority of Lakers fans were expecting LeBron and AD to win more than just one championship. And that championship that they did win, kind of illegitimized by a majority of NBA fans for being the bubble championship. And then you saw it where they gave up some nice pieces to get an aging Russell Westbrook that they thought was going to push them over the edge. That didn't really happen. And then now you just kind of saw the Luka trade, which I will say they probably won on that trade when it comes to talent level now and the future potential that they have with that trade. But the Lakers really only have 3 or 4 solid guys on the team. I'm going to say Luka, LeBron, Reeves, and Hachimura are probably the 4 solid guys on the team. But other than that, they really have no bench. And it's because LeBron has kind of pressured Rob Pelinka to make these moves where it's like, sign or trade for these big name guys and give up our assets because I only have a couple years left and I want to win a couple more championships. And it just really hasn't worked out for them. And you kind of just can see that the Lakers don't really get better in the off seasons. I mean, this year they signed DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, and Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia is a solid player, a solid role player. He'll probably help. But DeAndre Ayton, I'm going to have a video coming out in the next couple days about DeAndre Ayton, but man, he looks rough so far in preseason. And Marcus Smart, I don't know what you're going to get because he kind of was rotting away in Washington last year, and the Grizzlies before that when they were having those problems with Ja Morant. So Marcus Smart, I mean, this is not Celtics Marcus Smart anymore, and this is not Suns DeAndre Ayton. It's kind of been rough for Lakers fans because they've kind of just been sticking in the middle of the playoffs, not really making it far, and they don't have any flexibility. They don't have any assets that are developing to help them in these later seasons, kind of in a state of mediocrity. This LeBron news, if he retires and they get off his contract, I think that makes the Lakers upper management super happy because now they have LeBron's money to once again play with in free agency, and they also don't have LeBron's influence when it comes to the general manager's moves. You know, it's a meme like GM, but it is true. LeBron does have a big hand in the decisions that are made for this organization. So I think the Lakers management is super excited because they get some money back once he retires to hopefully sign some role players. Don't just do the same mistake and go sign another star because your supporting cast is weak. The Lakers supporting cast is got to be one of the worst in the league. Before Luka last year, you had Austin Reeves playing your point guard, which I wouldn't say he's a point guard, and then your backup was Gabe Vincent, who's fallen off a cliff ever since he left the Heat. And then same thing at the center position. You had women's UFC heavyweight champion Jackson Hayes, and then Maxi Kleber you got in that deal with Luka, but I mean, those are not solid players. Those aren't players that are gonna push you over the edge to win a championship. Why I say the Lakers upper management is probably more excited that LeBron might retire is because you kind of have already seen them transitioning into a period getting ready for LeBron to retire in that Luka trade. At the same time now, Luka is the star player for the Lakers. The entire time AD was in LA, the upper management always looked at LeBron as the number one and AD as the number two. But now they look at Luka as the number one and LeBron as the number two. So they're saying, yeah, man, I mean, you only got a couple years left, and then you're kind of out of here. Luka's our future. We want to build around Luka. And so I just think the management, while they might not be saying it, I think it's understood that they're just kind of waiting for LeBron to retire, and then they can finally start making moves to build a team around Luka, and hopefully Luka lead them to a couple more championships. This video is going to look really dumb if LeBron, if the decision is not what I think it is, but I'm pretty confident that LeBron is probably going to announce his retirement tomorrow. I can't say for sure what's going to happen, but I think there's going to be some changes. But one thing's for sure is the NBA is going to be a lot different next year without LeBron. He's been around for 20 years, you know, has been the face of the league for a good majority of the last two decades. It's going to be interesting. I'm super excited to see what is going on tomorrow with this decision. NBA preseason just started up, and so I'm back in NBA fever right now. I'm so ready for the season to start. And this little tidbit of news is just kind of increasing that hype that I have. So we'll see what happens in the next coming days. If you guys like this video and you want to see more of just like NBA news and stuff like that, that's really what this channel is going to be. I'm just going to talk about, you know, stuff that goes on in the NBA. I'm 24 years old. I've been following the NBA for almost 2 decades now. I'm an OG unk. and I have a ton of takes that I just don't really have an outlet to talk about. So that's really what this channel is going to be about, all things NBA. And so if you guys are interested in seeing more videos, make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed, and comment, what you think LeBron's decision is gonna be tomorrow, October 7th. So until next time, guys, peace and love.